We are often led to believe that if we want to get stronger, we have to train harder. If we want to get bigger, we have to go to the gym more often. We have to keep on increasing sets, we have to keep on increasing weight, we have to keep pushing ourselves to the limit. That seems to be the most common advice we get nowadays at the gym. And it's unfortunate because that is the wrong advice to give. It's wrong to push yourself to the limit each and every day. Sometimes you gotta take a step backward to move 2 steps forward. And I myself, at the start of my career, made that mistake for many years. It wasn't until that people who are much smarter than me in the industry educated me, and I found out that I could get bigger by doing less. And this is done by doing something known as a deload. Now, a deload is a 1-week period of time in which you reduce how hard the workout is, otherwise known as intensity, and how much work you're doing during the workout, otherwise known as volume. And you do this to reduce all the fatigue and stress you have accumulated over all the other weeks of training. And you do this because you want to recover. That way, on the future weeks of training, you're much more ready to go and you're ready to perform at your highest level. Think of a deload like this. Remember growing up, every now and then you would take those really long road trips with your family, and that if you would just keep on driving to the very final end of your destination, that vacation spot, and you never stopped once, what's gonna happen? You're not gonna make it all the way there, right? You're gonna run out of gas, and then what? You're stuck. That is why along the way, as you're driving over there, you make a stop, you refuel your car, and then you keep on going. You reach that final destination. Now, a deload is essentially that stop we make for our body to refuel it so that we can go ahead and keep on pressing forward, grinding to our destination, which in this case is that physique that we are trying to achieve. All right, so now that you know what a deload is, let me go ahead and explain to you how to know when you should take a deload, and then also how to implement it into your program. So how do you know when you should probably take a deload? Well, there's a few reasons as to why you should probably take one. Maybe you haven't taken an easy week or a break from the gym in about 4 to 8 weeks. Or your joints hurt, your body hurts. Or maybe your progress has stalled, or you're feeling mentally drained and fatigued. All these are reasons as to why you should probably implement one. Now, how do you go about implementing the deload? Well, as I said earlier, you have to reduce volume and intensity. And for those of you that don't know what volume and intensity is, let me go ahead and explain those real quick. Volume and intensity are 2 out of the 3 training variables, the third one being frequency, that shape your training program. Now, volume is the total amount of work that you perform. One way we can measure volume is by counting the total amount of weekly sets that you perform for each muscle within a training week. And then intensity is basically how close you train to maximal effort, or in other words, how close you train to failure. So if you were to take a set all the way to failure, you can pretty much bet that you hit maximal intensity. Now, if you took a set, maybe stopped 3 to 4 reps away from failure, you can pretty much measure that intensity was more on the moderate level. And now that you understand what these training variables are, let's go ahead and go back to how we implement this deload. The first thing you're gonna wanna do is reduce how much volume you're doing within the week. So what is this gonna look like? Essentially, let's say you have a 6-day training program. That 6-day training program is now gonna be a 3-day training program. So you're basically just cutting the amount of days you work out by half. Now, let's say you have a 5-day training program, that's now gonna be a 3 or 2-day training program. If you had a 4-day training program, that's now a 2-day training program. And if you had a 3-day training program, that is now a 2-day training program. And that's how we go ahead and cut our volume in half. And then now we're gonna go ahead and reduce intensity. Now, the way to reduce intensity is basically by cutting in half our rep target that we had for the week for each exercise. So for example, let's say that you bench press 100 pounds for 10 reps. But now on this deload week, you're gonna reduce that rep target by half. So now instead of doing 10 reps of 100 pounds on bench press, you're only gonna do 5 reps of 100 pounds for bench press. And you're gonna go through every single exercise that you have for your training program and cut the rep target in half. So now I'm gonna show you an example of what that looks like. So what I have pulled up here on the screen is an example of my 4-day training split. And as you can see, this is a standard week. This is before taking a deload, and I trained for 4 weeks straight doing this program. Now, this is what a normal program looks like. Now up on the screen, let me go ahead and put on what a deload week is gonna look like after this program. And as you can see, my 4 days of training went down to only 2 days of training. And then also all my rep targets in this program, they all got cut in half. So all my rep targets went down to just half. And that is exactly what a deload will look like for this program. And then by doing that now, not only are we gonna be much more recovered mentally and physically, we're gonna be much more prepared to move on to our next blocker training, where we're gonna begin again to continue training at higher levels of intensity and volume to continue making those gains. And I guarantee you that if you implement this deload every 4 to 8 weeks, you will definitely see the results and you will be much bigger and stronger. And you probably have some people telling you, hey, why are you taking it easy at the gym? Man, I don't see you that often this week. Don't listen to them. Trust me, this works. A lot of people are starting to do it now. The information is just not all that out there. And it's up to you as well to educate others. But anyways, that is all I have for you all today. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, hit that subscribe button, like the video, comment if you've done deloads before. And anyways, thank you again. I will see you all in the next one. Bye everyone.